Simply hopeless. Only Ma mantra can save you. Okay. Nobody here plays any instruments or something? Oh, what, flute or something? Okay. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 27, entitled Attack by Chandravega on the city of Puranjana. Okay, so what did we discuss last time? Some few basic points. Yes.
So we were discussing about Gandharvas and Gandharvis, how they take away the good karmas and put away the passivity.
Okay, who are Gandharvas and Gandharvis?
And also,
Who are they? Day and night.
Chandravega.
Chandravega is the time. So time is taking away all the facilities, opulences, everything that we have. You may say in the course of time we accrue or accumulate something, but in the course of time, ultimately everything is taken away, including our own body. So we talked about the time factor is a very powerful factor that affects us. And we should be extremely conscious of it. If you're not conscious of the time factor, the life is wasted. We pass time in so many things. doing so many things. But we don't understand how the time takes that duration of life forcibly. So we should be conscious of time and not waste it. That's another important. Okay, any other points? Yes.
Days are considered to be white and night is considered to be.
That's obvious, no? Huh?
And it also written that night is also considered as white and as well as black.
Really?
Right.
Anyway, white nights, black nights, moonlight, amavasya. Yes.
So we also discussed that the ignorance was the main reason for suffering,
Okay.
and how people are attached, especially old people. They are rejected by their own bodies, but they are still attached. Their families reject them, but they are still attached to their own body.
Yeah. When we cultivate material attachments, that's all ignorance. And material attachments make us suffer because we see that there is no reciprocation. There is no expectation of whatever we hoped for to be fulfilled. So there is ultimate frustration and disappointment in life. But still, we are attached. Still we are attached. We have negative experience, but in spite of negative experience, we still continue holding on things that are temporary. Okay, any other points? Yes.
Everything is being plundered from the beginning of the day.
Plundered, yes, everything is being plundered. Our karma is being plundered, everything is plundered. Yes. So it's from the beginning. It's not that we may consider it sometimes later on. It's from the beginning. What is our main asset? What asset do we have in this life? Huh? Time, that's it. That's it. We said how many breaths you take. And even that, it's according to certain activities, reactions mostly, and I'd say it's approximately calculated how much time it will take to run out of the breath. That's why yogis, they can perform so much austerity and tapasya, whatever, and then they can learn how to preserve that breath. They don't waste the breath. And by that they can extend their lives. They can live maybe 200-300 years or something in some cases. They can extend their life. But again, if you don't use it for spiritual purpose, what is the use? In that kind of life, it's a waste. But the main asset still is time. You can use. You have to know how to use the time well. And it's not for anything material, it's for spiritual. Because material, again, any attachment to it, there's no use of it. It's temporary. And it will not give satisfaction to the soul, which is eternal. Okay, any other points? Yeah.
We also see the
Only 2 people made notes last time. Nobody else remembers anything. Okay.
We also discussed about the example of Sanatana Goswami, how he was dependent on Krishna. One should also depend on Krishna. So you give an example how one person was about to steal money from Sanatana Goswami.
Okay.
Somehow Sanatana Goswami gave him some money. He was completely dependent on Krishna. And that's one should also attach to Krishna. If not, then he may attach to some other things.
Okay. Yes.
When one is busy in self-gratification, he does not realize that time is passing and time is not spent in service of Krishna is time wasted.
Yeah. That's why you see, what is your position nowadays? What is your position? You're made busy. You're made very busy now. You're made very busy studying. You're made very busy working. You're made very busy hoping for something that, you've been told it will make you happy. You've been made very busy. You're just constantly bombarded do this, hope for that, this, that, this, so many things. You constantly make busy. And you don't understand how the time is passing. Your life is getting shorter. You may think now, oh, I'm still young, I'm in my 20s or something. There's plenty of time. How do we determine who is old and who is young? Huh? How do we determine who is old and who is young? Yes?
By birth.
By birth, wrong. Any other thoughts? Who is old and who is young? Yes?
Who is near to death?
By death, not by birth, by death. How do you know how long you're going to live? You may die earlier than somebody who is in, some late age or something. You don't know. You have no idea. That's why every moment we should understand and take it as very precious. We should not waste it. Because we don't even know what means wasting something. That's another point. Very important point. We don't even know what's valuable. Okay, anything else? Any other point? Because now the story is unraveling, becoming very interesting. You'll see what happens at the time of death. King Puranjana, we were hearing the story. He was a very powerful king. He enjoyed so much in life. He had so many opulences, so many queens, so many this, so much that, so many things. He was sporting, he was, But now the time has come. Time has come to leave the body. So now what will happen? So we are reading this text 14. Te Chandra Veganu Charaha Puranjana Puram Yada Artum Are Bhile Tatra Pratya Shedhat Raja Garaha. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. When King Gandharva Raja Chandrabhega and his followers began to plunder the city of Puranjana, a snake with 5 hoods began to defend the city. Report. What does that mean? When one is sleeping, the life air remains active in different dreams. The 5 hoods of the snake indicate that the life air is surrounded by 5 kinds of air, known as prana, apana, vyana, udana, samana. When the body is inactive, the prana or the life air is active. Up to the age of 50, one can actively work for sense gratification. But after the 50th year, one's energy decreases. Although one can with great strain work for 2 or 3 years, perhaps up to the 55th year. Thus the 55th year is generally taken by government regulations as the final year for retirement. The energy which is fatigued after 50 years is figuratively described herein as a serpent with 5 hoods. Namo Vishnu Praya Krishna Krishna Adbhuta Hari Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namaste Saraswati Devi Guru Devi Krishna Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shiva Advaita Shiva Sadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So we see how here time is attacking the city. The city, what did we say the city is? Is represented by the city. Anybody remembers before? Yes. The body. The body is like a fort. The body is like a city of a living being who resides within. So now the time it's attacking that city. Days and nights. Time is passing. If you would hear about any siege, the siege. Sometimes they were here in India also. An enemy would try to conquer certain fort. they would lie a siege. They would surround the fort and try, not to allow anybody coming out or in. They would block all the entrances, gates, or surrounding, whatever it would be. They wouldn't allow any food. So many different things would happen, and they would lay a siege. And then those who are inside, they would have to somehow or other survive or manage all the attacks. And the attacks would constantly keep on happening. Sometimes they were undermined, they were digging the tunnels beneath to weaken the fortified walls. There were so many things would happen, so many attacks would happen. And this is constantly going on with the time to the effect of our duration of life. Our bodies being constantly plundered like this. Time is affecting, it's eroding our defensive walls, which we are trying to protect so much. How do we try to protect the body? We're trying to do some, going to gym, right? You're doing some fitness stuff, this and that. You're trying to put some creams, trying to take some pills, trying to go for plastic surgeries. You're doing so many things people start doing. They're doing all kinds of stuff just to defend themselves from the onslaught of time, right? I mean, we don't have to elaborate much. You're already pretty much conscious what's going on. So many ways to pretend that we're not getting old. Maybe somebody, sometimes, wrinkles come or the hair starts falling down, no? The people try to make up for that. There's so many, like we were talking on Saturday anyway, makeups and fake-ups now. So for the body. But ultimately, what can one do? Body will fall apart. Time will take its toll. Will not be able to defend. And now here we see who is the first one who tries to come to rescue. Hey, what's this kindergarten? Chalo, jaldi. Yeah, it's like Kirtan's over. Anyway, Prashadam, half an hour more. So these plastic chairs, you can use the plastic chairs. So, but it's crumbling. Time it's affecting. Time it's incredibly powerful. Nothing. Is there anything that can stop the time? Is there anything that can stop the power of time? Time and tide wait for no one. There's nothing. You cannot do anything about it. So we see here in this description, so Prabhupada explains that this snake, that allegorical snake with 5 hoods, what does that mean? This is the life air. Because in general also, in yoga, right, Kundalini, and Ida, Pingala, whatever it is, they're represented by snakes, no? So it's like a life air. So it's life air and 5 other airs that are aiding our body. They're meant for different purposes, for digestion, this, that, so many other things. So, what Srila Prabhupada describes in the purport, it said that it is strong till about the age of 50. Maybe it can go on till the age of 55. So it can defend, it can maintain the body. It's active. It's sufficiently powerful. But again, due to the influence of time, after 55, it becomes to weaken. And then it becomes difficult to defend. Then body becomes more susceptible to different kinds of diseases, to weakness, so many different anomalies of the body. So Prabhupada points out, this is interesting, he says, generally by government, one should retire after 55. Is that the case? No, now it's, what's the retirement age? 60 or 65 even sometimes. They moved it, almost for minimum 5 or if not 10 years. Why? They don't want to pay people. Why? They let them work hard. Why should government spend money on it? So there are different systems, of course. Nowadays, you don't even have a retirement. If you have your own business or you're employed or something, you really have to think, what are you going to do when you get old? How are you going to survive? How are you going to live? So there are different systems. In this capital system, you'll have to manage everything on your own. And government jobs are very few. I hope for any kind of retirement like this. And that also becomes extended. So the essence is, in whichever way one tries to hope for some nice old age, retired old age, by whichever means you try to. First of all, now none of you are thinking about this. You may say, why are we talking about this? We are all young here. Why are we talking about old age? Because don't think it's not going to happen to you. At least you have to hear about it. It's not going to pass long. Very soon you're going to realize, whoa, what is going on? I'm getting old. It's not going to pass long. Ask your parents what they thought. They'll say it was just like a dream. Just like that it happened. Ask your grandparents. Old age is inevitably going to come. Of course, if you live to that point, that's another thing. If you survive like that. So why are we discussing about it? Because in some ways, one has to consider the future, what the future holds. And you cannot now be, the more you're neglectful now, the more you're careless, the more you will suffer when the old age comes. It said when one expression, it enjoys more in the youth, the more he suffers in his old age. What does it mean? What it means enjoying his youth? Indulges in sex life, wastes his energy, wastes his vital fluids, wastes his brain, wastes his immune system like this, affects his health. So the more one is ignorant and inconsiderate, the more one will suffer later on. Of course, it already suffers. That's a different discussion. So we should be very cautious that these life heirs, they do function, but they're not going to function forever. Just now there was you hear some news, whatever, I don't read this. I don't waste time. I just sometimes hear or just read the headlines. So there's the presidential debate in US going on. And this one president who is currently president is just so senile. He's just like blank. He doesn't know what to say. He doesn't know what the subject refers to. It's just so people became very, very disappointed that you cannot vote for such a president. He's not capable. He's not capable. So it's such a big thing now, whether he should continue running for president for a second term or not, because he's just not capable. He has no substance. He has no brain practically. He's so senile. So how can he be a president? And of course, no presidents really give any decision or something that's already done by someone else. They're just puppets. But still, people have that opinion that the president, he's the person who should give the final word for whatever has to happen. So he doesn't seem capable. So when old age comes, there's so many things, especially like this memory. Memory becomes extremely weak. One cannot remember anything. So what kind of situation that is? It becomes very hellish. So, but still here now, Prabhupada points out till age of 55, one is kind of capable. And you see, that's another very interesting thing. When I said Prabhupada, look at Srila Prabhupada's life. He was in 70s, 80s. He never had troubles with memory or something. His mind was always very sharp. His intellect was always very bright. Why was that? Because of spiritual practice. Because of spiritual practice. So even the body may be to some extent affected by old age, but not his subtle body. His mind and intellect were very sharp, extremely sharp. So again, why? Because they were not affected by any material activities. So if we want to remain really fit, it's not just about the body. It's not just about the body. Actually, it said if your mind is fit, your body will be, fine. If your mind is, very clear and sharp and exercised properly, it means along the spiritual line, then you don't have to worry about the body, because powerful mind can move any kind of body, no matter what it is, and it won't be affected as much. So if one has a powerful mind, then one doesn't have to fear so much the crippleness even of the body, even if it comes to that. Because he won't be affected. So how do we have a powerful mind? How do we have a powerful mind? What do we do? Chanting, yes. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Yes, chanting, powerful mind. Powerful mind. And today it's also what? Today's Ekadashi, right? What do we do in Ekadashi? What are we supposed to do? Chant more? No? That's one thing. Eat less? No? Hopefully. And lecture is in English so that you learn, become international. Somebody's asking a question. This is international spiritual process. This is not the Hindu movement or something. Because it pisses me off. Now I have to speak a little strongly. What is this? What are we talking? Are we talking about spirit or are we talking about body? Spirit. We're talking about spirit. What is spirit? Spirit is from Mumbai, or spirit is from I don't know where. Spirit is universal. So if you want to give and present a universal message, then we're going to present it in a way that it's available to as many as possible. Anyway, Haribol. Okay. So if we make our mind strong, then we won't be affected by the body. So the way to make the mind strong is to chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. That's the spiritual. It's not Indian, it's not, American, it's not this one, it's a spiritual sound vibration. Maha Mantra is the spiritual sound vibration. It has nothing to do with matter. Of course, if you may chant it in different levels, you can chant it even in a contaminated way. But still, it will have its effect, and it will purify. In the course of time, you can reach, the highest level of spiritual self-realization. So, therefore, if we don't want to face the grossest negative effects of the material body, then we better start doing something right now on the spiritual platform. And that will also save us from so many material entanglements. So many material entanglements. Because we are entangled. As I said, you're already entangled. You're bombarded. I always said in the beginning, you're bombarded with so many stimuli. How to, engage your senses in this way, engage your senses in that way. Completely trapped. They have no other ways of thinking, of understanding the world. Nothing but what it's presented to us to keep us busy, to keep us so busy with all these illusory projections that what will apparently make us happy, that we don't have time to consider Krishna consciousness. I don't have time, I'm so busy. Yes, you can, and you will be busy, and you'll continue being busy for lifetimes. Life after life, and life after life, and life after life. No problem. unless you really make one very serious and strong decision to try to realize yourself and then try to realize Krishna. Because again, you can't affect time. Time is affecting you. So better be conscious of that. So when we are conscious of that, then we can understand and do something about it. And we can utilize the time. You know, like you have a wind. Wind is blowing. If you know how to utilize the wind, let's say you're sailing or something, you use the wind to your advantage. Use the wind to your advantage. Otherwise, it will blow you off. So if you understand the effects of the time, use it to your advantage. Use it to your advantage. Use that time. Use it properly. Don't waste time watching all kinds of nonsense things, which is just making mind dull, useless, lazy, indolent, weak, susceptible to so many things. Yeah. So better to make it strong, better to make it sharp and clear, and have clearer understanding of what is one supposed to do with this time that he has. Okay, any questions on this? What we mentioned so far? Yes.
In life, what was the most important thing? Because in Gita, it will be the karma is the most important.
What is the most important thing? So this is discussed by the sages of Naimisharanya. This is what Parikshit Maharaj said. When one is about to die, what is one to do? What is the most important thing to do in life? Because everybody ultimately is going to die. There's no question of it. So just the only question is exactly when. So what is one supposed to? What is the most important thing to do? So what do you think is the most important thing to do? Huh? What should one do in one's life? This is what Vedanta Sutra points out. It said, and the Srimad Bhagavatam, of course, the answers. Yes. Please listen to Harikatha. Yes. Almost like this. But in essence, yes. Jigyasu Shreyam Uttamam. What is the ultimate goal of life? Ultimate goal of life. Now, what is our position? What is our position? We're asking, what is the immediate goal of life? We don't think what will happen in the future. We think just now, okay, give me immediately something. Instant. That's called prayas. Prayas means give me right now. Now, if I don't feel it now, I can't relate to anything. But Shreyas means something that is for long benefit. Let's say these fellows here. You like to go to school?
Yes.
Really? Horrible. They're really indoctrinated. I don't like to go to school. You behind, you like to go to school? No.
Yes.
Really? What are your marks? Now get exposed. Let's see really if you like to go. 80, 90, my really bad examples for my class. Anyway, okay, but the point is, see, if you don't go to school, right? If you just play around, who likes to play? Huh? See, you like to play also. But if you're just playing and you don't go to school, then what will happen? No? So sometimes you have to sacrifice playing and you have to go to school. That's the example. You have to do that because you have to consider what will happen in the future. No? That means it's not just prayas, I like to play. But shreyas, if I don't go to school, then how will I get a job? How will I maintain myself? And so forth. No? So that's why in life also we have to consider things on the long run, not just immediate. What do I, smell, taste, touch, feel right now? No. So this is what Vedic version is, and Vedic teachings are, that they tell us it's not just immediately what you can perceive and get, but on the long run, how you should act to gain the ultimate good, ultimate benefit. So atato brahma jigyasa. One has to inquire. One has to inquire about the absolute truth. So that's the thing. So it's not just karma. Karma is one of the features how one should act to inquire about the absolute truth. How one should perform different activities, you know. And what are those kind of activities that Krishna describes? There are three types of karma: karma, vikarma, akarma. How one should act. It's a whole science. So that's also what we have to know. Is that okay? Sure? Okay. Any other question? Yes?
Actually, once I was sitting in the Bhagavad class, this Purushottam Das Prabhu was telling a story of Haridas Thakur, that when two people was asked why, what is your intention while chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra? So first person said that we chant because I can get rid of the sins, and second person told that I chant because I want to get rid of it. So Haridas Thakur was feeling offensive to hear that the answer of that two people. So what should be our intention and how while chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra?
Well, whatever it is, we better just start chanting. Start chanting, later on we'll work things out. Because many people don't even chant. There's no question of discussing the details and the subtleties of the process until you start practicing the process. No, first you start the process. So Prabhupada came to the West and he just gave this Mahamandra. He said, just chant. He didn't tell them you have to do this and you're not supposed to do that. He didn't bother about these things. Because it's obvious. First you have to start the process. Then how do you practice the process? That gets worked out later on. Okay? So for those who are very advanced, yes, then certain things should and are considered not so favorable. So they have to be rejected. Then we have to perform activities as closest to the real purpose of that process as possible. But if that's not a consideration, then that is not a question. So it depends on one's position. Okay?
And how to chant attentively?
How do you chant attentively? Well, there are different steps towards good chanting. The best is chant, together with others. That will make you attentive. Just like now. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Did this make you attentive?
Yes.
See, it works. Okay, anything else? Okay, let's read another one. The five-hooded serpent, the superintendent and protector of the city of King Puranjana, fought with the Gandharvas for 100 years. That's a long time. He fought alone with all of them, although they numbered 720. Okay, let's see what that means. The 360 days and 360 nights combined to become 720 soldiers of Chandravega. That means soldiers of time, days and nights. One has to fight these soldiers throughout one's lifespan, beginning with birth and ending with death. This fight is called a struggle for existence. Despite this struggle, however, a living entity does not die. As confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 2:20, the living entity is eternal. For the soul there is never birth nor death, nor having once been, does he ever cease to be. He is unborn, eternal, ever existing, undying, and primeval. He is not slain when the body is slain. Actually, the living entity does not take birth, nor does he die. But he has to fight with the stringent laws of material nature throughout the entire span of his lifetime. You must also face different kinds of miserable conditions. Despite all of this, the living entity, due to illusion, thinks that he is well situated in sense gratification. So that means you're fighting battle with the time since the beginning of your appearance in this particular body. So 100 years. Well, utmost time. Definitely it's going to be less. Very few people are, how they call them, octogenarians or something. Live up to 100 or more. So you're fighting, all life you're fighting, but when your life airs, as we already discussed, they're strong enough that they can bear that fight. And they won't even feel that fight so much. But fighting still goes on. It's still dangerous to some extent. Because every moment, like it says here, you have to face different miserable conditions in life. Yeah? So what is this? Adibautic, adidivic, adiatic. There's so many different pleasures. They're all brought about with time. And you have to face it. But why? Because you're identifying with this body, which is prone to time. If you wouldn't be identifying with the body, you wouldn't have to fight this battle in the first place. Because the Prabhupada points out here, living entity does die. This body is already dead. You're not going to die. You're going to live. You always live. But when you identify with the body, then you also feel, like you're dead. Yeah. So that's the greatest miserable condition. And who is at fault? Whom to blame? It's just us ourselves. Nobody else is imposing that on us, but we ourselves. Because we identify by temporary body, and they also think I'm temporary. Whatever people do, when they're dying, how they express their anguish, their anger, their frustration. There's nothing they can do. What is it that you can do? You have to leave the body, you pull out of the body. Of course, then will come later on, you'll see. When this fight keeps on raging, how the living entity is going to be pulled out of that form, out of that city. And that city will burn to ashes. Nothing will remain. 100 years of working so hard. You're maintaining this city, you're adding so many things, you're